Welcome to your phase 1 toning A workout. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each exercise on its own, helping you feel comfortable with it. As I'm going through each exercise, I'm going to have you go through them with me. For each exercise, there are going to be 3 levels. Each level is depending on your fitness level and your current aches, pains, or injuries that we need to work around. So as we're going through these, practicing these, warming up, you'll get to find the best option for you. There will be 5 total exercises, and we'll go through each exercise 4 total times today. Should take us about 25 to 30 minutes total. Now, what we're gonna do, again, we're gonna start with each exercise, going through that separately. So, our first exercise today is gonna be working on your balance. Level 1, we're gonna put 95% of our weight on one leg. We're gonna put about 5% on this other toe. And we're just gonna hold here, picking a spot out in front of us, keeping our posture nice and tall. This is level 1. If this is easy, we graduate to level 2. Level 2 is now our knee raised, creating almost a 90-degree angle with our body, holding here as we balance. If this is easy, we graduate to level 3. Level 3 now is holding our balance and adding in a bit of a leg swing to challenge our balance as we hold there. That's exercise 1. Exercise 2, we're gonna work on a plank. Level 1 for our plank is gonna be against the wall. So I'm on my hands against the wall, holding this position here. If this position is easy, we graduate to level 2. Level 2, we have a bit of a range. We have our hands starting at a countertop, holding here. We can slowly work our way down to something like a chair, holding the plank here. And if that is easy, we can then graduate ourselves all the way down onto the floor, holding ourselves up here. Now, if this position bothers our wrists, we can also drop to our forearms and hold the body there. That is exercise 2. Exercise 3, we're gonna use a chair for level 1 and do what we call a sit to a stand, and we're gonna add some support here. So I'm starting by sitting. My hand is holding on for a little bit of support, and I'm going to stand up from here using that support and control myself back to the chair using that support as well. Stand and lower myself using my leg muscles. Now, if that's easy, we graduate to level 2, where we don't have any support. We stand from this position, we control ourselves back to the chair. Level 3, we actually start by standing, and we're gonna do a squat, a body weight squat. From here, we sit our hips back. As our hips sit back, our arms go out in front of us, and we just gently tap the chair and stand. We use the chair as a bit of a guide, letting us know how low to go and what position to put our hips. Sitting back, tap the chair, and standing. Now, exercise 4, we're going to work our posture, our shoulders, and our upper back. We stand about 6 inches from the wall with our heels, with my hips, my upper back, and my head against the wall. Now from this position, I'm going to pull my arms back as far as I can. Notice I can't get my arms and my hands to the wall, and that's okay if you can't either. We just want to be back as far as we can. We slide our arms up, pulling them back to the wall the whole time as I slide down and up here. That is level 1. If that's easy, we move to level 2. Now we bend ourselves over, our hips push back, and we do that same motion in that position. Arms pulled back the whole time as I extend in that bent position. Last but not least, we're gonna move to a lying W. So now we're on our chest on the floor. This would be level 3, lying here, arms pinched back, extending arms forward, pinching the arms back, extending the arms forward, and pinching the arms back. Hopefully you have a little bit more space than I do with the chair. Now, our last exercise before we get started is going to be what we call a standing hinge. Our feet are about hip width apart with a slight bend in the knee. With my hands, I'm going to mimic or push my hips back as far as I can
That's as far as I can go. I feel some stretching in my legs, and then I'm gonna push my hips forward. Again, push my hips back, and then push my hips forward, almost thinking of touching my butt to the wall behind me. If that's easy, then we come down onto the floor and we do a lying bridge. This lying bridge would be level 2. So from this position, we bridge our hips up, lower the hips down, bridge the hips up, working our glutes, our hamstring muscles, lower the hips down. If level 2 is easy, we graduate to level 3, which is one leg. So now one foot is elevated the whole time, and I'm just using my left leg to bring the hips up, lower the hips down, bring them up and down there. Now those are our 5 exercises for today, for today's workout.